Hey, everybody, live here with Off the Hip with a special co host today. We got Maka up on the panel.
Hey, everybody.
No free beer menace. You know, I don't drink. But if we hit the Powerball, me or Tim, then I will pay for Outlaw Nation to be in a big field out here in the country and we'll do a great big and I'll fly everybody in. Oh, I will. Oh, yes, I will. So we're going to give people a few minutes to come on in and because we are a little late getting because I usually do 4 to 5 to 5. Hey, Janie. Janie, we got Maka up on the panel today.
Hi, Janie.
She's another one that I think that three of us, yeah, it'd be. So she seems like good people.
Yeah.
So are you able to see the chat from where you're at, Maka?
Yeah, let
Okay.
me.
Hey, Ford, I can highlight the comments if somebody says hi so that you can see them
There we
if you
go.
need to. Oh, okay.
Okay, I got it.
So you got Minnis, Janie, and Ford all saying hi to you.
Hi, everybody.
We're just a little late today, but once we get a few people in here, we're going to let you know what our topic's going to be about. We talked about it, and we think with this climate that, we're about being real. So this is off the hip. It means what we believe and how we feel and being honest. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to tell you the topic today is friendships, being neutral, and what it really means for real life, YouTube, and a woman's point of view. From Maka's point of view, my point of view. Hey, Shady J, how you doing?
Hey, Shady.
So in real life, Maka, you've got friends, and sometimes you don't like all the friends that your friend has, but out of respect, if they're truly your friend, then they're going to respect who you like, right? Without causing the issues.
Right.
So, what do you do in real life now? Not YouTube, but in real life, if you got two good friends that are fighting, you see the sides. How do you handle that without having to choose sides, without having other people choose, without making them feel bad?
Well, I try to figure out exactly where the problem started and try to come to look at both sides. Um, and I try to help them come to a mutual agreement or to see exactly what happened to try and maybe work it out. Because there's nothing no worse than two friends fighting. It's hard.
Yeah. Especially if you really have feelings for both of them and you love both of them, it puts you in a bad spot.
Yes.
Now, are you able to be neutral though? Like if you see both sides and you know that they're both messing up and they're both right, because there's going to be good points on both sides, there's going to be bad points on both sides. Are you able to, if they don't listen to you, what steps do you take that you can still try to be friends with both of them?
That one's kind of hard. I mean, it makes it hard because, like, if you're friends in real life, you do everything together, and then the friends separate. I don't know. That one's a hard one for me when it comes to real life.
So for me on real life, hey MMC, mine is, see, a lot of people are saying this needs to be touched on, and that's why MMC, me and Maka were talking about this is a good topic that we needed to talk about today. To me, in real life, because it's different than YouTube, and we'll go
Right.
down that version next. I got two friends. They're both going to have different people outside of just me. I can't think that I'm the most important person to both these people.
Exactly.
They're both fighting. I see both sides. I know that they're both right, but they're both wrong. I see the love or the friendship. I am going to hope that I can talk to both of them, let them both see. And when they both don't want to see, it's hard because you still want to like take their heads and ram them together. You know what I
Right.
mean? But if
Yes.
they don't, then all I can do for real life is sit back and let them both know I'm going to be both your friends. But I'm not going to talk about you to that person, and I'm not talking to this person about you, but I'm going to be upfront with you. And then
Right.
if you don't like it, whoever doesn't, there's going to be somebody who's going to be okay that they know you're in a bad spot. They're going to hang with you. If they choose to walk away, then the only thing you could do is let it go away.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
and there's nothing you could do about it. So you've tried, they don't want to listen. The best thing to do is pull yourself back. Hey, Maine, how you doing? And hey, first responder, you pull yourself back, and at that point, just show them both that they both matter and that you care. Um, and if they both turn on you, there's nothing you could do when you were just trying to help. But if they both want to still be your friend, then you know that friendship was real.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. But now YouTube. YouTube's a whole different ball game.
Yes.
It's crazy because you don't really know these people as much as you think you do or you want to know them. You can only know so much until you meet somebody in person and look them in the eyes like you do in real life.
Right.
So how do you handle the same situation, the same scenario? How do you handle it in YouTube standards?
Oh, well, when it comes to YouTube, I try to see both sides like I would normally, like in real life. And you've got to go about it a little more delicately, I guess you could say. Um, I want to support both sides. I want to, I try to see both sides. And if I see how things are and can see that both sides are right, then I try to support both. I mean, it makes it hard sometimes to support both when you have so much going on and somebody sees you somewhere and it's like, well, they were over there talking to so and so or whatever. Me personally, I don't chat as much when there are things going on, and that may be wrong of me, but I mean, that's how I try to handle it to a point. I
Do you
mean,
believe in keeping it offline or airing your business publicly online?
no, I believe in online needs to stay online, offline needs to stay, real life needs to stay off of online. I don't
Now,
like that.
okay. And then let's say that you see the good and you see the bad on both sides, right?
Mhm,
The digs going back and forth, the positive, and friendships and that you believed were one thing, and then they don't want your advice. They all of a sudden, no matter what you've done, they don't want the advice or they're not listening. So you realize that you need to pull back, right?
right.
So you pull back, but you hope that everybody still sees that you're neutral and it doesn't involve you. But if some people start to, how do you handle that?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I don't really know how to answer that, honestly, because it makes it hard. It makes it to the point to where you just don't want to deal with with any of it. It doesn't make it to where you want to be around anymore, I guess. That
Now, do
might be the
you
wrong answer, but
no, it's how you feel. This is your feelings, my feelings, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks is right or wrong. This is about off the hip, how we genuinely feel. So if you see both sides and you're staying neutral, right?
uh-huh,
And people start to, and let's say you're best friends with problem A, right?
uh-huh,
And you know that person, but you also see the other person, but you don't know them as well. But you see the both sides and still are neutral. Do you think that when you pull back some that you need to anybody else connected to those people? Do you stop talking to those people who are connected to either one of those that are in the middle of the fight?
No, I tried to talk to everybody and um I mean, I tried to stay neutral with everybody regardless. Unless you do something to me, then, I just don't go about it that way.
I'm trying to answer the chat too, that are giving advice too. First
Sorry,
respond.
I'm not.
No, you're doing fine. I know this is only your second pen. I know you're nervous. No, you are doing great. This is your feelings. So don't ever apologize, okay? He said for his opinion is support isn't agreeing or disagreeing, it's just listening. Remember, ask how they feel about it. What would you like to happen? It's about their feelings, not yours. So if you that's getting involved, you end up hurting one party whether you like it or not. Okay. Hey, witch from the past. How you doing, witch? And witchy. We got witchy woman and witch from the past, Maka.
Hi, witches.
Halloween is in effect. The witches have come out to play together. So me and Maka are glad to see all of you for this episode today. We appreciate everybody being here. So I'm starting to learn that some people don't believe that you can be neutral, no matter what you say or do. So I'm starting to learn that maybe just let people talk their shit about each other.
Yes.
Let them do it. And if it's going to be discussed, then you show that you're neutral. It doesn't matter if you're closer to one or you go to the one chat and support them longer than you do the other one or vice versa. But if anybody else that's caught in that gravitation should not be hit. I can't go after somebody for choosing this friend over this friend because that's their choice. But I
Right.
can hold them responsible if they hit anybody else that chooses. Like, I can't stop being their friend because they want to stand by somebody they're closer to.
Right.
I'm still going to support them, right?
Right.
So I would expect or hope that they would feel the same way that, wait a minute, that she might not be involved. So it doesn't involve her with what this A is doing over what B's doing. C, D, and all the way to Z, they're innocent in this. So we can all still talk and be friends or friendly and still support who we're going to support as long as we're not dogging the other person.
Right.
That's just how I feel. It just it comes to the point that there's so many people on YouTube. There's so much going on. You can't always be everywhere, anyways.
No.
And you can like and support people on this side, like and support people on this side, even though you think the two in the middle fighting are both fucking retards and need their heads smashed together, that
Right.
it's their fault causing the issues. They're both wrong. They both have valid points. So everybody else who supports both of those people shouldn't have to choose everybody in between.
Right.
If you choose side A or side B, doesn't mean the rest of us have to take the hit, whoever we're connected to.
Right.
And if you pick sides, then that just you can pick a side, but you don't have to pick everybody who associates with them. So
Exactly.
if you hold everybody responsible for what A and B are doing, are you really friends?
My opinion, no.
My opinion too. So that's why I try to be like, I don't care who's fighting. Hey Lacey, hey Mama Jamma. For me, Maka, my opinion is I don't care which one's fighting. I don't care if it's Tim involved in a beef. If
Right.
he's wrong, I call him out on it.
Right.
Same with the other person. But then when I see both their sides, I let them both know, look, I see where you're coming from. This is point A side, point B side. But I'm starting to realize all that does is put a target on the person trying to mediate and try to help.
Yes.
And you become the victim of all of that. And it's almost to the point where it doesn't even help. It's not even beneficial to try to stand up and try to have friends work it out.
Yeah,
So it's just sad
it
because
is.
it's a word. I've noticed that you put a comment in the chat, right?
Mhm.
Because you can't put but so many words and the chat flies. So what they asked you up here and you're finally getting to answer them down here, they've already had three other conversations. So when they read your response, it could come across as an attack
Yes.
because
I've
so
seen
many
that
things.
happen.
Yeah. So it's not like real life where you can sit people down and actually explain what you're saying. And not a lot of people want to give you their phone number so that you can hash it out.
Right,
So when this happens, it's just better, you know what? The two people that are going to be involved in the fighting, I'm stepping away from both of them. I no
right,
longer want to be try to help them. Whatever they do is their business, and I'm going to concentrate on everybody in between that circle because those are the people that are innocent and they have nothing to do. So I'm not going to hold what A and B are doing against anybody else.
right.
So we all stand on our own, we all fall alone. And you know what?
Exactly.
We just got to remember that we can't blame everybody else. Hey, Kata, I'm not going to hold anybody else responsible for what those two are doing because those people in the middle had nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
And if I don't have anything to do with it, they don't have no right to hold it against me either.
Right,
And I'm hoping, and that's how I expect real life to be, you know?
right,
And there's so many people having to choose sides. And I don't think we're doing anybody justice if I tell you, hey, Maka, we're friends.
right,
Well, if I don't like Janie, if I come to you and tell you I can't hang with you anymore because you're hanging with Janie, because me and Janie have a problem, then
right,
I don't value you as a person. I don't value your opinion and your feelings. So I'm really not your friend.
right,
So I have to live by a standard that don't judge me what somebody else is doing. Don't judge me what Tim does. Don't judge me with what Maka does. Don't judge me who anybody else that I talk to does.
right,
Judge me how I treat you
right.
and tell me how you feel.
Well, you're so much better with the words than me.
Just your feelings. I know it's nervous wracking that you're trying. Everybody has to be careful what they say. This is off
Yes.
the hip. I'm going to say, I don't give a fuck. I'll say what I say. Let the chips fall where they fall because
Right,
these are my words. This is my heart. This is my feelings. I don't give a shit. So you put it how you feel. It doesn't matter if it comes out sounding funny because it's your words.
right. I mean, I feel about this. I feel the same way. Like, I mean, there's just so much going on that sometimes you can't hold certain things against everybody or against that person. But I
Now,
feel the same way you do with it. You just put it in better words than me.
well, your words matter too. It doesn't matter. Hey, Roland. Hey, Kaylin. It don't matter if the words come out sounding perfect because it's your emotion. So nobody is ever going to be able to put it perfectly or eloquently. Yeah, tongue tied there for a minute. So it's more of, and I've seen too many friendships or because people feel torn. Which side should they go on? I've seen good people get hurt because they try to stay neutral in real life and on YouTube. And you really can be neutral. You just don't talk shit about, like, go to this side and talk shit about that side, then run to this side and do the same.
Right,
You can hear what everybody has to say, let them talk, and be that person that people want to be a sounding board to, but yet be their confidant. You don't have to be that one that plays both sides back and forth.
right,
So if I say I'm neutral and if I'm not there from the beginning or I'm not privy to all the information, then I'm not going to make a judgment and throw away everybody in between, because only can base it what I do know of with the facts that are given to me, and I will weigh those out. But if they're both good people, everybody has a bad day. It only
Right.
takes one bad conversation or one, um, on YouTube, it's just an appearance, just you're seen somewhere, and it could be that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a lot different than real life. And I think people need to realize that, try to bring real life over into YouTube and be the person that you are in real life on YouTube. So it'll show through if you're a genuine person, if you're a good person. It will come through. Maybe not to everybody, but they are going to see. It might take time. And point in fact, me and Roland, we never even hardly talked a year ago. And now I think he's one of the nicest guys. I think he's a really good guy.
Mhm.
And I couldn't see him not being a part of my YouTube friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't even know you a year ago when I started.
Mhm.
So, you can see real and meet people and build that up, and have people that you can confide in. But I realized that you can't trust every intention that everybody on YouTube's going to do.
No.
So, I mean, do you trust? You can't trust everybody in real life either. So you got to
No.
think about that. So when it comes to real life versus YouTube, do you use YouTube as an escape and change, like, you have your real life, but so YouTube is more like fun and fantasy. So you don't try to be who you are in real life, or do you try to bring your standards and morals into YouTube like you do in real life? Is there a divide for you?
Yes. I try to be me regardless because I am who I am, like in real life and on here. Um, but I'm always like I try to keep everything separate, but also my personality, I try to keep how I am in real life versus here. Because to me, who you are, you shouldn't be ashamed of who you are.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't try to hide that. You can be yourself without giving yourself away, I guess you could say, because like there's so many people that want to keep their identities hidden. So, like, you can still be yourself. And that's me personally, anyway. I mean, I just try to be the truest person I can be.
Welcome, Stacks and Sin. Menace, it's glitch. That is Sin. Menace is like, Sin's in here. People are talking to him, and I ain't seen him in chats. He's so lost in the songs. They don't even know where the hell's up and down. So I appreciate everybody coming for me and Maka today. To me, I do try to be who I am. That's why no filters, no makeup. I don't do all that stuff in real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, I try to. I When I came on a year ago, I really was thinking it was real life. Everybody is, real. Everybody's who they say they are. I trusted so much until I got hit from a
Yes.
lot of directions. So I had to pull back, and I'll be like, I had to evaluate myself and like, okay, I was being hit as I thought I was YouTube moral police, YouTube's mommy, YouTube gods. And I realized it is not my job to tell you or anybody how to act.
Right.
So when people come at me now and they're like, well, you need to tell these people. No, I don't need to tell anybody what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
That's them. I can only hold myself. And if you don't see me do it, just because I support them as a person doesn't mean I have to agree with everything they do. Just like I don't expect everybody to like everything that I do, but we can still support each other and be friends.
Exactly.
So I try not to hold anybody else to the standards that I myself. I have to be me, and I have to do it. Now, if people show me, hey, Laurie, maybe you could try this way, it might be a better look for you, then I will try. I've seen, I had some good advice, and I finally hit a wall, and it's like I can keep beating my head up against the same wall, putting out the same facts over and over again. But some people, they don't care about receipts or facts. They
Mm.
love the drama. They want the hate. That's what they live
Yes.
for. So I had to, it finally got to the point where I was hearing the people in my ear, and I hit that wall, and I was like, all right, I've hit that wall. Tell me your advice. What, what do you see? Because it is hard to teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. I am that get in your face. I want to rip your head off, shit down your neck, so you taste my ass for the rest of your life. That's how I am in real life, and I came on that way here. So,
Right.
hey, movie fan, how you doing? So I've had people in my ear like, okay, if when you hit your wall and you've had your enough, maybe do this or do that, or you know, instead of going live on your channel and repeating yourself, put out little videos every couple weeks and put the facts out there. But once
Right.
you do that, you got to let it go. So I
Right.
started with react right away, because when you do, they got you because you're giving them everything, the proof. So
Exactly.
start pulling back. So more and more, I've finally hit that wall, and all that advice clicked in. Now I've got 2% that I still got to work on. I'm not perfect. I still can get where I've got that urge to like make a comment,
Right.
you know? So I've got that last little bit to work on. But all I can do is, we all are a work on progress, and I have to hold myself to my own standards.
Right.
Um, Even though other people might not like how I am or what I say or how I act or how I joke, who cares? This
Right.
is me. Obviously, there's enough people who like how I am, the real me. I'm not going to be fake, um, and not joke or, say what I want to say. But I have hit that wall where I'm just tired of it. I don't want to always having to be watching over my shoulders, because when they're talking shit and I stop and I let them, that knife in my back, and I turn around, they're able to pull me down to their level and stop me from growing.
Right.
So I'm having to learn to be better. And luckily, I do have a couple people that are in my ear. And when I hit that wall, you know, they're helping me pull back, getting out of that.
Right.
And it's only going to make me a better person.
Exactly.
So, how do you avoid it? How are you able to stay? Have you ever been tempted to put in the comments and get in with the drama and everything?
Oh, yeah. I've been tempted many times and I've held my tongue. Like, I don't want to say stuff that I'll regret. So I'll sit and think and think. But yeah, I've been the same way.
Hey, Golden, how you doing? Thanks, movie fan. We appreciate that. Hey, Stacks, how you doing today? Um,
I
for
try to stay
me,
away. Oh, sorry.
okay? No, go ahead. So you
I
try to stay away from getting
From the
involved.
drama. Yes, and try to stay out of all of that. It's tempting, but it's also something that it's like I've had enough drama in my life, in my real life. I don't need drama on, something that's supposed to help me escape
Now it is
from real
fun.
life.
Yeah, it is fun sometimes. You do
Yeah.
get caught up in it. It is
Yes.
easy. You get up
Yes.
in there, you want to put your 2 cents in, especially if they've come at you, you know.
Yes.
Um, I'm more of the, I want to beat home that you're a liar. But I started to realize that some are delusional and they believe their own stories so
Yeah.
much that they're the victim, and they're always going to be a victim.
Yes.
They don't care about receipts
No.
because, according to them, facts can be manipulated.
Mhm.
So that's what I was fighting, a losing battle, is I could put out the receipts. And there's enough smart people out there that they like the receipts, they see it. But
Yes.
it's the ones that have nothing going for them that have to
Right.
keep it going. Hey Shoddy, how you doing? Hey Yankees. So on those people, you could keep putting out receipt, 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 and proving they're liars. But they're going to have the people that come in that keep encouraging it going because they love it, they need it.
Right.
All you're doing is causing yourself
Right.
headache and turmoil and anxiety or frustration. So you just gotta, for me, I think everybody's gonna have a limit. And when they hit that limit, then they have to decide for themselves.
Yes.
So for me, it was, I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna do me. And I can only be me. And you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. But I can support you, what you're doing, and you support me, but you don't have to like me either, like what I'm doing. But as
Right.
people, I'm going to like you and I'll still support, everybody, because I do like everybody. Well, let me take that back. There's a very small handful of people that honestly I wouldn't even piss on if they were on fire. I'd keep on walking.
Same way.
I might call 911 after I've gotten far enough away,
Mm,
but because I don't want anybody to suffer, but I don't really care. They've made themselves so miserable and made other people around them miserable for so long. But I realized I can't even hold on to the hate anymore. I've just got to let it all go for my own
right.
self.
Yeah, it's
So
not good holding on to hate, and it's not good for your health. It's not good for your mentality, your mental. I mean, it's good to just let it go. I mean, people that are like that aren't worth the energy.
hey, John, Brookie, in case I missed Brookie, I think I said hi, but if not, I wasn't ignoring you. I even realized that Tim's going to have his issues with people.
Right,
I've got to stop worrying about his issues because he's been on long enough. He can handle himself.
right,
I can only worry about my issues because I get hit for his issues with people that they have with him. I'm going to be the target so that they can get a reaction.
right,
Vice versa. I'm a target. He's going to get hit because they're hoping that'll piss me off and get a reaction. And in the past, everybody knew Tim and my grandson were my target. If you're going to hit it and I'm going to respond.
right.
Now I realize the people that do that, you're a nobody to me. Why would I
Exactly.
give you my reaction or jump on your panel to give you a view off of
Right.
me?
They're not worth it.
Mm-mm. So that's how I'm trying to deal with it because being a couple on the internet, he's always going to be a target because of his numbers and what he represents. It's just
Exactly.
going to be a target. And with me being his wife, if you're on here as a couple, you're going to be each other's targets.
Right. Well, they're
And
gonna hit you where they know it's gonna hurt.
exactly. Like to talk shit about your relationship or talk about your woman's looks or your husband's looks, or they're going to
Mhm.
do stuff. Hey, Maria, and we've had to learn, let it go.
Yes.
You know, they're unimportant people that are so miserable. Let them wallow in their hatred. If it keeps
Exactly.
them warm at night, because I know who keeps me warm at night.
Exactly.
So I got to get him sometimes. But I also feel that when he does something wrong, I shouldn't lose friends that have nothing to do with what he's doing. If
Right.
I built the relationship with you, that's me and you. That's not you and Tim. So don't take it out on me. I shouldn't be penalized for what Tim's doing with
Right.
somebody else. And somebody else I shouldn't penalize another person that he's beefing with just because he's my husband. I'm not going to penalize the people that hang around with who he's beefing with either.
Right.
So it's a lot harder being a couple on here, I think, than it is just an individual sometimes. So,
Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
whew,
Y'all are
you know,
strong.
yeah, we've had to. There has been times it's gone off where offline where I've had to ask him to stop, and he's like, "I'm not stopping. You don't know what I've done. This you don't. You're new." But I try to look at everybody. We're a community. We've got to try to think about everybody. It's not just his battle. It's not just my battle. We have a whole bunch of people who support us that are behind us that we have to keep them out of it. even though they're grown people, we can't keep them out, but we don't try to involve them. We don't send people to hate on other people or to do our dirty work. We don't like, hey, we need you to fight these people because we don't like them. We don't do that. We just can't.
Right.
But that is a known, you know, oh, they're only doing this because Triple T told them to, or it's, and then I get hit too, no matter what I do or don't do.
Right.
So, yeah. But on your case, as an individual, what steps do you find make it easier for you to stay neutral and to not be drawn in, to have to choose a side when you like both people or you don't really know what's going on? How do you choose what you think is the right side or anything like that?
Well, it depends on the situation. I mean, for one, I don't go into one chat and talk about them like you had said earlier, and then go into another and then talk about the people I was in there with before. Like, I'm the type of person, if I like you, I like you. I don't, I don't. Um, but to stay neutral, I mean, I basically, I don't talk about others. And if I see something like somebody saying something about somebody, I'm going to say something and just be like, hey, maybe look at it this way. Or I don't know. It's like I've never been put in the situation where I've had to stay neutral, so to speak, as of yet. Um, but I just try to see all sides to everything.
Mm. For me, I don't know about you because I know you're married,
Yes.
but I have no problem telling my husband when he's wrong.
No.
Now, am I going to blast him on live? I have slipped a couple times. There are screen recordings of me busting him out on in real life on live, but out of respect, I will talk to him when he's wrong behind the
Right.
scenes. And I am not one of those blindly, if he's wrong, oh, make excuses for what he's done. If I see that he said or did something and I find it cringy, I'm going to tell him, why did you have to say that? Or will you knock this shit off? You know what?
Right.
Stop. You need to let it go. You know, and no, I don't have, you know what?
Right.
I tried. He's a grown man. He's an individual. He's right. I can't control him. He's not going to control me.
Right.
But for myself, I have to be like, you know what? I see where this is going. There's a few people I will talk to that I don't. If it involves I have separate friends than Tim does. He knows who everybody I talk to. I know who
Right.
he all talks to, but we have different circles. He's in the music community. I'm not. I do have people that are in the music industry that are friends, but I'm not looking at them as a reaction or an interview. I'm looking at them that, hey, you're this example. Stacks is Stacks. Stacks does music, but that's not my lane. So I relate to him just as Stacks. One on
Right.
one is just a friend. I don't, what he does for a job, yeah, it's cool. That's his music. I'll listen to it, but I'm not a reactor. I don't do the interviews. I don't need him for a sub or a view or anything. I have a different relationship than per se him and Tim do,
Right.
as an example. So when I cultivate my own relationships separate from Tim, then that's a whole different. And I don't let those relationships affect my relationship with my husband, but I don't let my relationship with my husband affect my relationships with who I have relationships with online.
Right.
There is a clear divide that has to be done.
Oh
You
yeah.
share everything, but even couples that are dating have their own personal space, and so do
Right.
married couples. So, do you and I know your spouse is not online, I would assume.
No.
Okay. Do you guys talk about it or is that separate? That's online is your time and you two don't discuss it, or do you sit and joke with him afterwards about look at these crazy people on here? I mean, do you guys keep it separate?
So I mean, not Well, yeah. I mean, you could say that. I mean, sometimes he'll sit and watch with me and he laughs and he's like, "What in the world are you watching?" or "What is going on here?" But no, I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's separate to a point, but I mean, I like if something's going on, I'll go to him. I'm like, "You wouldn't believe this, blah blah blah," and he's like looking at me like, Who are you talking about?"
Does he ever try to tell you you're crazy or like get out of that? Don't even, you know,
Yes.
he,
He's like, uh, you probably should step back. Like he's told me before, he's like, maybe you should step back a little bit. You're getting a little too involved. And I'm like, okay, like, because I try to take his, uh, well, what's the word I'm looking for?
suggestion.
Suggestion. There you go.
Okay.
I try to take his suggestions and, I mean, me and him, we talk a lot. And so, I mean, when he voices his opinion, I take it to heart. Sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. I mean, that's just part of marriage.
Exactly. That is facts. So, and let's be real. Sometimes I'm in a marriage, you're both hard headed.
Yes.
And then, can you imagine if he was online and he was doing this with you?
Oh, no.
And you are going to have separate friends and separate things
Yes.
that you both like in real life. Imagine doing those separate interests online too. Like, I want to support him, but like when he's doing his interviews or has artists on, I my genre is rock, not rap.
Right.
So I want to support. So I'll go in and I'll say hi to everybody, but I'm definitely not about music. So if there's songs I really like by each of the artists that I do know that's in our circle, there's a few that pop, that I'm like, wow, that song grabbed me. But I don't like the rest, or I don't have to like all of their songs.
Right.
You know, I don't like when I buy an album. I don't like all of the album that I'm buying. I usually am buying an album for two or three songs.
Yes.
I think we all do that, right? So
Yes.
it's just like making friends. You're not going to like the whole person. There's going to be things you don't like. But if
Right.
the likes outweigh the dislikes, then hang out with that person.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I do want to call it out, and who better to tell? Like Tim gets mad when he does some of his music. Some of it's bad. And I'll
Mhm.
tell him, it makes no sense, Tim. You're not putting this out. You're just always a hater and blah blah. No, I'm telling you it's bad because I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
Right.
Let me help you. No, no, I'll ask everybody else. And until somebody, and I'll be like, you guys better have the balls to stand up against him and tell him, no, Tim, no, because I don't want to put it out there if it's not good,
Right.
you know. But then I have to realize too, these are his thoughts and his words. I can't go in and change him all the time. I can
Right.
maybe show him a word that will fit better, so he's not repeating the same word 100 times. But I've got to remember that if he has something he feels and he wants to put it out there, I can't judge him. But, he put out a song the other night. A lot of people thought it was about them. I had to let these people know. Tim told me no. If it's not about them, they'll know. No, that song was very, it could fit any of us, even me, some of the
Right.
words. I had to let people know because I just find that being open and above board is the best way to go.
Right.
I think when you don't let your true feelings out, that's when people start to feel it. They can tell if there's somebody that has an issue with you because all of a sudden they're not talking to you as much, or you're getting like, you can feel a cold shoulder even though people act like they think that they're good enough not to show you that there's an issue. You can
Right.
feel it. And same like a relationship. We know when our spouse, is not happy with us and vice versa.
Yes.
So I just got to be honest. When Tim messes up, I will talk to people, my circle that I have, and I'll be like, you know what? I see this, but he's fucking up here. And they're like, well, talk. No, 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 no.
Mm.
When people get it in their mind that this is how it's going to be on YouTube and in real life, there's no changing people's minds.
Right.
So we got to just remember that people are going to be in their own feelings. If and I'm starting to realize that even if Tim's in a conflict with somebody else, maybe it's best that I don't even try to help.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and let it work itself out.
And and I think the more sometimes you try to help a situation, you can make it worse.
Yes.
Because if you're trying to be neutral, both people think when you say I see both sides, they're taking it as, oh, that's being wishy-washy. You're saying that I did something wrong and I know I didn't. But yet everybody else knows that both sides were wrong and right. Everybody just has to be brave enough or to call it out on both sides.
Right.
So, and if the people that are doing it get hit, you know what? At least we had the guts to admit that it was wrong.
Right.
So, but I won't go into a situation where I don't have all the facts though and make a judgment. I
Right.
just can't do that. And if it's not my business, I'm not going to ask those questions either. I don't
Right.
want to know why you guys are fighting. I'm going to stand back because eventually you two are going to come back together and you're going to talk and be friends. And anybody who was playing both sides against each
Mhm.
other, it's going to come out. And when it comes out that you were the middleman playing the snake to try to keep people apart,
Yep.
I don't want to be that person.
I always say the truth always comes out.
It does. It could take a year,
Mhm.
but if somebody was stirring it up and playing both sides for their own personal agenda, and it comes out, then you're the one that's going to lose face. You're going to lose friends. You're going to be the one that loses that respect. And, you know, you're only as good as you are to your friends.
Right.
So I don't know. But so with you being new to coming up on panels, I know that you're thinking, you said last night on the panel that you've thought about going live.
Mhm.
What's the biggest thing that you're worried about if you start going live and you actually become an actual content creator?
Um, well, I wanna make like I said, I'm not so good with the words, so that's kind of one of the things that I worry about. But I don't wanna be like one of the boring people that, people come in and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't wanna listen to this," and you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
I don't wanna flop. I wanna make sure that it's stuff people enjoy and not just drama, I guess.
Yep.
But I just don't wanna flop. That's just my biggest thing.
Here's what you got to think of, right? And even when the late night crew was forming, this is something we said because there are bigger channels and we were very small channels and people didn't know who we were. It doesn't matter if you only have two people in your chat, Maka. You're doing it. If you like what you're doing, those two people, you do it for them and for yourself first. It's for yourself first. And
Mhm,
you put on the best that you can be for yourself and then those two people in that chat. Because as more and more people see that you enjoy what you're doing and that you're real, oh, I just popped up a screen. When you do that, more will come.
mhm,
You do it for yourself. You put out what you want. That's like when I say I'm off the hip. The subjects I talk about might not be politically correct. They might be uh, a sore subject. It might be controversial, even on YouTube, but it's my thoughts and my opinions. They're either going to like it and still support me, or they're going to leave and not come back. That's their choice. You do it for you.
Right.
The realer you are, hey Creaker, the realer you are for yourself and as much and you enjoy what you're doing and the people that you're interacting with, it shows and people will see.
Mm.
Only a year, Russian.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to keep up, but it's hard to do chat and concentrate. My nerves have gotten the best of me. So
No, it's okay. I try to keep up on it, and they were saying that there's some people who get hated on who they support, and that is true. If you
yes,
support somebody, you get hated on. Um, that is a true statement,
yes,
but all I can say is that it doesn't matter if you get some hate, but if people see that you stay true to who you are, eventually people are going to be like, why are you hating on somebody who's just being real? Because if
right,
that's the type of person I want as a friend, if they're going to support somebody through the hate, then maybe I could be that person's friend too, because eventually friendship is going to overrun hatred.
yes.
So we just have to look at it like that. Um, hey, Socks. And I mean, I'm sure you've got life experience, of course, that you
Yes,
have advice that you've lived by that you would offer to anybody.
yes.
So give that.
It's a good idea.
How you live. Now, when you start streaming, the good thing is try to figure out what you want. What do you like? My advice when I first started, because I was nervous, I knew I wanted a late night show. Nobody was doing late night. There are a lot of people who work late or have insomnia like I did.
Mhm.
I wanted to have an open forum where we could talk about everything, relationships, sex, and not music, and not be afraid to be ourselves.
Right.
I'm not afraid to talk about sex. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. So that's what I wanted. Well, but I was nervous being on by myself
Yes.
because to me, I want a face to face or verbal confirmation of who I'm talking to, you
Right.
know. And I was lucky. Sin jumped up first one night. And and I already knew him, but we had never been on a panel together. And the joking just rolled and he knew where I wanted to go. It was just like it just clicked. I knew where he was going. Well, then another night Loki jumped up and we had that click that we could just joke about everything and anything. Well, then Mike jumped up and we were able to click different styles of joking, but it clicked. So then I had the ideal. All these smaller channels support Tim and our community. How about we put together a group that are smaller channels that are building together and we grow together and we're all different, but yet we all we're all in the Triple T community. We all support Tim, but why can't we all support each other too? And
Right.
then go to different channels so that not one person is growing and leaving the rest behind. So when I
Right.
finally had the guts to start my own channel, that's where it all spun off from. So I'm sure you've been thinking about ideas. Hey, Tyler. Hey, Miss Luck. Jeffrey, do you have any ideas on what? Here's another suggestion, real quick. And I'm sorry I asked you a question.
No, you're fine.
When I was nervous, Mike told me, he says, I want you to write a list of things that you like to do. I was like, well, there's not a lot that I like to do. But over the course of us talking, I had a list of 20 things. I've just started. I've only got the first like four on my list that I do on my channel.
It's a good idea.
So with that in mind, do you already have an idea of what you'd like to do if you came on?
Not really. Like, I've had, like, I thought about just doing, just panels, having people come up and just to kind of chill and hang out. Nothing, in particular. Um, but I never really actually like I've put thought into it, but not to that extreme, I guess you could say. So I don't know. I'll have to make me a list, like you said. It's a good idea, Mike.
Everyone, don't compliment him because he's got a big head as it is, but every once in a while he does have a decent idea.
Right.
So he will. I will tell you, when I did come on, every time somebody came at us, I went full force. The nickname was Junkyard Bitch. I'm sure. I don't know if you were around when you heard that.
Yes.
Well, he was the one that's like, look, how about you and Tim have a different channel, and once a week or once every 2 weeks, you gather what you need based on who's ever attacked you or your haters, and you drop your videos or you go live on that channel and you address it all at one time for that 2 week period. Then the rest of the 2 weeks, you don't engage. So that's how the real Triple T channel actually came about. So it didn't affect, not only because when I would react and I had to go live and I react to it, it was also hurting my brand, my channel, but everybody associated with my channel too.
Right.
The late night crew, just Sisters in Arms and Straight Talk with me and Mel, and it just was affecting it. So that was a good idea that we did too. That was like our shit talking channel.
Yeah.
But then it was like, okay, instead of going live, just do pre-recorded and drop the videos. And then the next step to pull myself away was is do their own words with their own words. Don't say anything. Drop that video.
Mm.
So it's like the 6 degrees of separation from the drama, one step at a time.
Right.
So MMC has another advice for you. He says, think about where and what you want to accomplish with your channel in the first year.
It's a good one.
For me, I didn't try to put that pressure on me. Where did I see myself in a year or 5 years? I was like, okay, I'm going to go live. What's my goal for the next 30 days or for the next week, then the next 2 weeks? And then slowly the ideals would just start coming to me organically. And then I run with them. Hey, dude, we got Miss Maka up on the channel here with me on the panel today. If everybody would give her a warm welcome. So,
Hi, dude.
Socks came in and
Hi,
MMC.
socks.
Pretty much all the regular. We got a lot of the women in here, but we got quite a few men in here with us too. So pretty good bunch. But what advice do you have for somebody new coming on and not knowing what, like if they just come in on one channel and
Mm-hmm.
they hear their side, what advice would you give to any newbies coming on into the community? Generic.
Um, I would say I would just sit back and just kind of watch things. Sometimes I know, a lot of people talk about the lurkers and all that, but when you're new to a community or you're new to something that's interesting to you, it's just sit back and watch. And that way you can get a feel of everything and the people, and you kind of get an idea, um, if it's the right fit for you, because just because something catches your eye doesn't necessarily mean that's a good fit for you. Um, but I would say just sit back, relax, as they say, and just kind of watch and pay attention to things and just be aware. Don't give out information about yourself, for one, not dependent on the community. Sorry, dependent on the type of community you're in. Well, hold on just a second. Sorry.
No, it's okay. We think she's doing really good, guys. She doesn't have one just yet, Miss Luck. She's thinking she wants to go start a channel, but we busted her cherry. Last night on Sisters was her first time on a panel. So
Sorry about that. I
no,
don't
go
know
ahead.
what happened.
They're saying that your advice is good to keep going with what you were thinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys. Um, just sit back and just watch and don't jump into things. I made a mistake one time. It was well, I talked to Laurie about it earlier. She knows what I'm talking about. But I made the mistake of jumping into a community, um, and things kind of went haywire. And I was like, okay, this wasn't the place for me. Like, you jump in with all fours or all twos, however you want to say it. Don't do that. That's my advice. Just sit back, watch things, watch people, explore the community that you want to be in. Don't just set it or base it on one person or one channel.
Yeah. For me, if I had to tell somebody new, is just because the first person you met is really nice to
Mhm.
you, don't assume that they're really that innocent person.
Exactly.
Watch, like you said, good points is sit back and watch. You don't
Mhm.
always have to comment, or you could comment, see how you're treated.
Right,
But as you watch them and you see what they're saying, especially if they've got the victim mentality and that they're better, and go watch who they're talking about.
yes,
If you don't see what they're showing you, because if they're just showing you, they're not having receipts, they got little clips of a brief minute or two, and they have their words. Don't just believe everything you're hearing, give the other
right,
side a chance too, and then you could still like both, a little bit of both, or you like both of them full, full speed ahead. But don't try to just say, okay, well, look, this is wrong, they're saying that they've been picked on, so I'm on that team and this team
right.
is bad. You don't have to go to the other side and jump in, but
No,
watch from the
yes,
quietly. And if you don't see on a nightly basis what you're seeing on this side's being accused, you're going to have your answer on where to go.
exactly.
But you could sit in both sides. Don't
Mhm.
attack.
No,
Listen. If one side attacks you for being in another side, that's another clue to watch out to.
yeah,
If you want to be neutral, if you want to, and I also say is make your all your social media accounts need to be private.
yes,
Hey, Rice, do not leave anything open,
no,
because if you do, well, and you go at somebody, you're giving them what you're going to get it back, and you can't
yes,
cry victim.
exactly.
You just can't cry
Mm,
victim if you've done it to somebody. Hey, Stephen, Amanda. So come in, treat people how you want to be treated.
yes,
Um, don't jump to judgments of any one person, and give everybody that fair shot.
mhm,
And remember, if you're not there from the beginning, there is three sides to every story. There's his side, her side, and what's in the middle, which is the truth.
exactly.
Because both parties can believe they're right, but no, but both parties, if there's a confrontation, not everybody, both sides had to do something wrong. Not
Right.
everybody is innocent. So that's just my advice that I would give to people. It's dinner time. You see the dogs getting all moving around and everything's going crazy. And it's okay to roast your friends, because you know what? If you go hard on your friends and roast their asses, what can an enemy really do?
Right.
And I think there's one more advice, Maka, that we both learned on here that we both forgot. You don't come on lying and being a two-faced snake, and you don't come on as a victim.
Exactly.
You want to do your emotions, expect whatever is going to come your
Right.
way.
Yes. Because
And
there's been times I've been like that. Like I've seen things or people typing things or and I'm like, "Oh my god, I wanna say this so bad." And then I'm like, "Wait a minute. Step back. There you don't need that."
yep. Did you Oh, I had a good question for you. A brain fart. Ah. So, with that being said, have you ever been burnt through your online experiences yet?
Um, I've I've been lucky. I've been lucky so far. I've not had to experience some of the things that I have witnessed. So, so
How do
far
you
so good.
how do you go about that? Where you've avoided it? Is there steps that you've taken that you could give for advice for new people coming on too to avoid the pitfalls where they become a target, whether they're innocent or not? Do you have any advice?
Uh, Honestly, my advice would be just just be yourself. Like, I'm having a brain fart now.
It happens. It's under pressure, right?
Yeah.
You're talking and it's just like
Well, I have an echo in my headset that I can't get rid of, so it keeps messing with me and it's driving me crazy.
Do you have anything else open?
No, I've got everything shut out.
Okay, because we don't hear you. You're coming through nice and clear.
Uh, I've got this, it's a different headset. My husband let me borrow his, and I don't know, it's echoing. It wasn't doing that last night, which it was a different pair. So,
Ah,
but no, my advice would be just if you're not into the drama, if you're not into everything, if you're truly here just to have fun and want to be around people, then, just be yourself. Try to, if you don't want to be involved in the drama, then don't speak on the drama. And that's really, I mean, I don't know.
I think for me, it's the advice I can give is don't put all of yourself out there to
Yes.
everybody. You Not everybody, now, not the majority. There's just
Right.
a handful, but not everybody has your best interests at heart. Not
No.
everybody wants to be your friend. Um,
Yes.
there are people who come on here for the ha-has and hee-hees and the trolling and for fun
Hmm.
because they want to. Their real life is already a daily where they're working. They got responsibilities. So when they
Yes.
came on, it's about fun. You
Yes.
know, that's all they want is the ha-ha. Where
Hmm.
people judge them and oh, they're about the drama. No, just because their ideal of ha-ha doesn't match yours.
Right.
It's comedy is very selective. It's some people might find this offensive, other people find it funny. Some
Yes.
people like little people jokes, some people find that offensive. Some people might think this is off colored, some people think that's funny. So there is a phrase is judge not least you be judged.
Yes.
And I do like the phrase from the Workiverse rules, for the ones that
Rules.
always say rules for thee, but not for me.
Hmm.
No, if what they mean by that is you can't hold others to a standard if you're not willing to hold it to yourself.
Exactly.
So you've just got to. And if you trust too many people and you put too much of your information out and you have a falling out, some people aren't going to keep that information to yourselves. People
Mm.
can see. Some people deliberately take that information and they use it so that when you don't kiss their ass anymore, all your shit's laid bare.
Oh, yeah.
And I am not paying for somebody's information. I
No.
don't care. You want to come on and tell me you're a millionaire? By God, you're a millionaire, and I'm going to take you for your word
Right.
because it's not my business to dissect your life on here. This isn't your real life. What you
Right.
do in real life doesn't affect me because I'm not in your real life space.
Right.
So if you're coming on, don't keep files on people. Now, if they come at you, get your receipts.
Right.
But if they're not, don't waste your time. Because if you're watching what everybody's saying all the time, you ain't got a real life.
Right.
And there are people on here that do. This is all they do is watch everything everybody says and does. They have no life, and it's sad. It's so sad. It's why I was like, you can't even hate this person anymore because they're so pathetic. And, you
Yes.
know, you got to let it go. So, and I've had to even say, I've got to keep the drama because even from the chats, because we'll get distracted.
Yes.
So you have mods. The mods are in your chat because, and that's another thing I would give you advice is mods, Maka. Do the
Mm.
ones that you feel that you could trust, that will let people come in and say what they have to say, but those that get out of line so that it doesn't take you off of what you're putting out and destroy your content, they'll
Right.
get rid of for you.
Yeah.
So you just got to see that. And I would tell new people, I got in a Discord and people got the wrong impression of me in that Discord. And I had a lot of people who thought I was one way that I'm not. I'm glad I got out of that Discord. I've had friends, people that I really trust, talking about Discords and invite. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. If that means I can't get on a stream with you because you have to go through your Discord, I can't. I just can't.
Mhm.
But I'll support you from your chat. But
Right.
I don't care how, if it's moderated even the right way and there's security measures, that's just a space where even more could be misconstrued.
Yes.
So Tim tried to warn me, but like he said, I have to learn on my own.
I mean,
So
you can listen to the advice, and that's of how I've always been. I'll listen, take the advice, and put it into my own. Like I'll either take the advice or be like, maybe I can take the advice and maybe do it this way.
you
Don't
modify
always
it to
work
fit
out.
your lifestyle, right? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I gotcha. I got what you're saying now. So I just know that people can misconstrue on the panel what's being said in the chat. You can misconstrue what
Yes.
each other are saying in the chat. You both could be in the chat and or even on an IG message
Yes.
because you're typing as they're writing, but then they're faster so they've wrote two or three things before your one message comes out. They
Yes.
see that and they don't realize you're responding to three messages above
Yes.
and it comes out the wrong way.
Yes.
So, and see, that's another thing. I don't believe if you're not modded, you get blocked. But there are certain people that think that they're smarter and they use the same words. So, there's ways to see if a new person is a troll. And I don't mean like the fun trolls. I'm not talking about workkeepers. I'm talking about the haters that are coming in to troll your chat to take you, to take shots at you. You hit those three dots by their name on your phone. So I don't know if you have a computer, Maka, and a phone, but
Yes.
okay. So when you start going live and people come in and you're not sure about it, go to your phone and you could click on them and it'll take you to their page. If it's a newly page, oh, I guess you could do it on your computer too. Tim says hit your three dots by their name
Uh-huh.
and it'll tell you go to that channel or and if you go to the channel and it says it was just created, you know that's what it is.
Uh,
So that's the only time we block the late night crew. We've tried to give everybody a platform. You get one chance if you come in and you're using a dead friend's name or we don't know you. We're going to give you a shot. But if
right.
certain words and key phrases start popping up, we know and we're just going to block you but keep moving. We used to get distracted and they'd take me off my game and I'd start going at them and it's like what, wait a minute, I'm just going to block and go or let my mods take care of it. They
Right.
have my back.
Right.
So definitely tell new people that wrench, that doesn't mean that the content creator likes you above other people. That
Right.
wrench is not a given. Just because you support a channel doesn't mean you're going to get a wrench, but it doesn't mean they don't value you in their chats. Um,
Exactly.
Don't hang on to that blue wrench as a symbol. You don't have to be a moderator. You don't have to be a managing moderator to have somebody's respect.
Right.
Don't let it be. And don't just kick people out because you don't know them. Because um, me, Mike, and Loki and HBR, four different people, we go to different communities. We have different likes. At any given chat, we might have different people that I don't know about that Mike. So what I try to do is right away is like, hey, Rice, so that everybody in the chat knows I know who you are. I've seen you,
Right.
you know. So if we don't call you out and we're not sure who you are, you know our mods are going to take care of you and they're going to investigate. And we're usually getting an IG. Somebody, one of us is getting an IG in our chat like, hey, we don't know who this person is. The channel was just made. Um,
Right.
yeah. Socks, I will tell you that a lot of our community, you see MMC, not Tim has never, he won't do a Discord. HBR even set him up one. Tim's never been in it. He told him thank you, but nope. Um, it's a breeding ground. Now some are handled properly. Sin
Mhm.
has a gaming one. Um, some are good, but you have to have constant safeguards and security measures. Who's got that much time? Most of us work. We have
Mhm.
friends, relationships, kids, grandkids. I ain't got time to be sitting and monitoring and approving who comes in and who's not in.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
I couldn't imagine.
So Janie don't like discords either. Yeah. And you see what happened. I mean, when things get leaked too, you piss somebody off, they stab. I don't want anything of that.
No.
So, but that's a personal opinion. I know a lot of people have discords and they have no problem. You know, um, but that Discord that I got caught up in, it was at first, right? I was invited to join. It was weird. I was in a spot. Ryan Upchurch came in and dropped the link and told everybody to come over and link up. And I started a ladies' Discord with a small group of women. And it got leaked and we were betrayed. And it's just like, nope. And
See,
then
that's
people got
not
the wrong ideal. So
yeah, that's not right to me. Discord, text messages, IG messages, all of that should stay between who it's between. The screenshot and stuff and bringing it out because you're mad at somebody or that's just childish to me. I don't agree with any of that.
now, for me, I've only released a full IG messages is when it was being said that I was talking about everybody
Right.
in the workyverse and this person. I'm like, really? Okay, so I had to put out whatever, even if it made me look bad, I put it all out there.
Right. I mean, you
This is
had
what I
reason.
truly say. But there are people, you know, as an example, me and Bert, I've never put out anything that me and her talked about.
Uh,
Of course, I didn't give her any personal information that she could use against me. I'm not sending pics to her and
right.
anything because I never trusted her. But I still, when she says this was said, and I know it was not that she's lying, I can put it out there.
Right.
Why bother? It
It's
just
not
doesn't
worth it.
matter.
No.
Nope. So
It's
I
not
did
worth the
have to
time and
release,
energy.
yeah, I had to release one email of Paula's, but that was with the raffle.
Right.
And because it just kept popping up and popping up. So I finally was like, look, I hate doing this, but this is going to end any doubt that there was no cheating done. So I had
Right.
to hold it up on JM's and I had to let everybody read that it was given away. It went to the right people. The right people won. It was not any fraud. And I know that was made into something bigger than what it was meant to be.
Right.
And that's why I had to do it.
Right.
For me, screenshotting and receipts, I don't go around doing that. I don't record my friends.
Right.
I have nothing. If I say you're my friend, I'm not keeping anything on
Right.
you. Now, if you come at us and you're talking shit about me in other places and stuff, and then telling me you're not, then I'm going
Mhm.
to go back and I'm going to get those screenshots or I'm going to
Right.
get that recording and I'm going to say, really, you didn't? Nope. boom, boom, done.
Right.
But who has time to follow everybody and keep files? Hey, tactic player, how you doing? How does everybody have time to record everything everybody says or does?
Right. It's impossible. I mean, you can't. There's no way. I mean, even if you didn't work or didn't have a family or anything like that, I mean, to sit 24/7, you wouldn't be able to capture. Not one person can do that. And if they do, then there's there's something wrong with them. I'm just gonna
Well,
say it.
you do know there are a couple that do that.
Mhm,
There really are people who capture a little bit and just
mhm.
snapshots just to
Just
try to
enough.
attack people and wonder why nobody believes them. But
Right.
yet the lives are out there. Everybody gets to see everything we're saying. So if somebody took a little clip of what me and you were talking about and tried to
Mhm.
say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, of
Right.
course, these 30 people aren't going to believe them because they're in our chat. They can hear what you and me talked about.
Exactly.
And they're not thinking about that. So, well, I appreciate that tactic player. So, let's see. Have you ever heard of Playroom Beefs? No, Rice. Have you ever, Maka, heard of a channel called Playroom Beefs?
Uh-uh.
And Ice, no, I did not see your comment. We have not heard of that channel. Let's see. Ice and Fire said she left a comment. Hey, Amanda and Denise, you snuck in on me. I don't see it. I'm sorry, Ice. We get to talking, and sometimes, well, thank you, Tactic Play. I appreciate that. If it was about Bentley, I was going to answer that, and we got on a subject and forgot, but tell him I said hi back. So can't believe he's already a year old. She had him when I came on, and he just celebrated his birthday.
Oh.
Laurie, no name.
She put it in the chat. Sorry, I know what I'm doing after this time. She literally put everybody knows his name, and you know what I mean. So, uh, he says Playroom Beefs has multiple windows open. Well, good power to them. I mean, who's got?
True.
I don't want to watch 20 different channels because then
Right.
you can't concentrate on your own.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's like sometimes when there's multiple people that I like to watch going live, it's hard because I wanna
mm,
support everybody. So I'll go in and, like, chat for 5 or 10 minutes in one, jump to the other one, stay 5 or 10 minutes, and then eventually I just end up somewhere because 'cause I'm like, "I just can't do it." My head starts hurting, and it's like, "Who was I talking to again?"
if there's multiple for me, eh,
Micah, support the ones that are good looking.
do the sexy ones. He's saying the good looking ones. That's who you support. I think he's trying to hint on him, don't you? I think he's trying to say, come over and support me. I'm the good looking one.
Right.
Um, for me, what I look at is
Like me.
I knew you were going there. Um, if I'm live and there's other people going live, I'm still just going to do me, whether I only
Right,
have 5 people, because I'm going to appreciate people jumping in and out. I
right,
don't need you to be in my chat the whole time. Just come in and
right.
say, "Hey, I'm driving, but I wanted you to know I'm listening." You know what? I appreciate that. Or, "Hey, I hit that like. I wanted you to know, or I'm watching your replay." You know what? You're still
Right.
showing me support. That's all I need. And
Yeah.
you know, it's not like you're going to kill me if you don't get to my live, but there's millions of channels on YouTube
Yes.
and we're all different. And you know what, Micah? If Fusion's got a show going on and it's more interesting than what I've got going
There's
on,
only one channel.
I'm not going to hate you to go over. I'm not gonna be mad at you and resent you because you're over there and didn't happen to
Right,
find what I'm talking about.
right.
So I'm still gonna do me. Like I said, if I have one person or if I have 30, it's you know,
Lying.
and I do. You see, he has to be the center of attention wherever he goes.
Right. All men are like that, though.
I think so. They're like giant, and when they get sick, they're the worst babies in the whole
Oh
wild.
my
World.
gosh.
Turn your attention.
Yes.
I'm listening to your conversation. I'm just answering it.
I wasn't asking you a question though.
Well, I can't chat. I'm feeding the dog, so I'm talking.
Man, but I can't hold, and we all have different people who like, we all have different topics, right?
Right.
And different things. So there are sometimes that I want to support Tim even, but if there's three other channels going on, I'll jump in and say hi to Tim and stuff. But I'm subscribed to who I'm subscribed to too. And if they go live, I want to show them support because they're coming over and showing me support.
Yes.
But I have thought about something, and I'm not the only one. This has been a big point is we've got to try to support the channels that show us support too.
Exactly.
If you're giving 100% and you're not getting anything back, that's the wrong, you are being looked at as just as that view or
Yes.
a number. And I don't want to look at people in our chat as just a number. That's why no matter if there's 100 people going by in fusions, I try to pause it, and everybody who says my name, I will say your
Yes.
name, and as much, even if I don't say hi back, I'm saying your name so that it acknowledges that I see you, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. You don't have to say how are you, good to see, just So I have to scroll back, so I'm missing what's being said half the time.
Yes.
Tim tells me, Laurie, that is too many people to say. I was like, you know what? If they take the time to say hi to you, it goes a long way to let those people know that you see them.
Yes.
Even if you have to put 20 names all in one lump sum,
Hmm.
giving that hi back to me, if somebody takes the time to say hi to me, that makes all the difference when I come into a chat. And if for
Yes.
them to acknowledge me, I'm going to make sure I try to acknowledge them. Now, granted, 200 people in a chat, you might not see it,
Hmm.
but I know that I said it for you.
Yeah.
So I don't care if there's one person or if there's 200, I'm going to do my best to say hi. If I see you, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to scroll back as far as I can. Okay, I got to type in this name, this name, this name. And I'm getting like my head's bobbing up and down. You know what I mean? And I'm getting
Oh
dizzy, but
yeah.
I'm going to do it.
All right. I like how Victoria, I notice when she comes in, sometimes she'll come in and say hi, and you'll say hi to her or whatever, and then all of a sudden you'll see that all the names popping up. And I'm like, that's a good idea all at once, just like she's got
Mhm.
it all out there. I don't know how she does it, but she,
And she's scary sometimes because you see her everywhere. Like when I first
yes,
come on, she's everywhere. She's kind of
yes,
like Precious Miller.
yeah,
Precious Miller, but Precious always has something nice to say to everybody. No matter what
yes,
kind of person you really are, she'll try to find the positive. But what's funny is if you watch, she has a few she never has said anything positive to.
yes,
And it's the same list that a lot of people already know. But
yeah,
sweet as can be. Victoria, she's everywhere. She's on Twitch, she's on TikTok, she's on Facebook, she's on and but with her situation,
mhm,
this is where she connects to people.
mhm,
And she's literally not trying to harm anybody or talk shit about anybody. She just wants to help everybody. And she
yes,
genuinely is like spokesman. She likes everybody and tries to be friends with everybody. But
mhm,
if I need something and I'm like, I'm talking to you and I'll be like, yeah, I had this live where, dang, this happened at such and such, but I couldn't tell you where. She's going to tell me. I'll get an IG message within 5 minutes with the link to the live or at
yeah,
least the date, the month.
right,
She remembers everything,
man.
but she never betrays anyone.
No. I've
So,
always, ever since I first started seeing her, I was like, she is so sweet. Like she's always nice, and I've noticed the people that she likes. If she likes you, she likes you. Like
Victoria's the
if
best
somebody's
mod on YouTube.
yes, like she sees people saying stuff like about you or Triple T, and I mean, she's right there. She's like, hey, don't be talking about them like that.
yep. And
And she's
sometimes
always so sweet.
she misses social cues. There are things like she didn't realize like if she comes into a chat and is like, "Hey, so and so's live," so that everybody goes to that channel.
Yeah.
But so she thought she was just letting people know, hey, when you're done here. So all you have to do is, if she doesn't catch something and you let her know, like, hey, you know what, when you do this, it makes that content creator feel like you're trying to take people from them. She's like, oh, she really is not trying to do that.
Right.
So all you have to do is let her know, and she has no problem. She
Mm-mm.
doesn't have she doesn't judge people for talking to her or asking her questions. And she's really one of those neutral people who likes and loves everybody equally. And she's one that, if she's your mod, she's gonna have your back. She's
Oh,
got
yeah.
her core family. I mean, she's Triple T community. There's no denying that. But she has never went out and tried to go at anybody or to
No.
spy on anybody to give any information to any other person.
No.
So that's rare.
Yes.
you know Camel is like that, but he had to leave because he had outside stuff with commitment. So, but you know there are a lot. Meg's fierce and loyal, and she doesn't backstab anybody. I mean, there's a lot of people on
Yeah.
every community. Everybody knows who their inner circle is, and that's good, because you should have come on here and have your core people that you can trust 1000% with everything. And then you have the next circle, and then the next
Yes.
circle, and then
Mhm.
you do have just people that support you, and that you're glad that they're there,
Mhm.
um and you're happy to see them, but you guys just don't have that off YouTube relationship either.
Right. Well,
So,
I can tell you, and everybody that's in here, you're the only one. Laurie is the only one I have ever talked to outside of YouTube.
well,
She's the only
hopefully
one.
you'll meet more that you can trust,
Yeah.
but you know how I feel about that,
Oh,
me
yeah.
and you, and yeah. So
Yep.
I don't take it
So,
lightly when people trust me like that. To me, that's the greatest honor, is being trusted with somebody to tell me how what they're going through, or about themselves. To me, that is something that um, I can't put it out there. I can't betray anybody, even if we're not. I just
right.
Laurie won't even tell me what Meg says sometimes, which is bullshit.
look. This is how I value people's privacy. Mike come to me and said, "Hey, Rilla said I could have his phone number." You and so Mike's like, "Rilla, she's not going to give it to me unless you text her and tell her it's okay." He had to come to me himself, even though I know Mike wouldn't lie to me. I trust him.
Right.
I wouldn't give it. Sin and him live. They've already said that they live in a general area. If Sin asked me for Mike's address, unless Mike tells me to give it to Sin, no.
Mm.
And I know
Right.
Sin wouldn't set me up to do that. I just can't. I
Right.
will not give out anything unless a person tells me to, that it's
Mhm.
okay, go ahead and do this.
Right.
Meg even had to come to me about somebody else having it.
Mm.
I believe that when you're trusted like that,
Mhm.
you have I don't know, you have to live up to what people's faith in you is.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the right word, if I said that right. If somebody puts their faith in you, it's your obligation to live up to that,
Right.
because you gave them that impression that you could be that trustworthy person. So you know that I value you and I appreciate you, and we truly are friends off YouTube too.
Yes.
And what's funny is, what people don't understand is, you don't have to talk every day.
No.
It's just that interaction that you do have with that person. you know I don't see you online half the time either, because if I'm working, or it's in the morning and I'm sleeping because I was up till 5 or 6 a.m. before I have to start in on my day, when I get
Mhm.
to make my own hours. So I'm lucky about that. But I might miss you during the
Yeah.
day,
Right.
and something might come up and you're not on a nighttime show.
Right.
But I know all I have to do is reach out to you, or if you haven't heard from me in a while, you reach out and say, "Hey, are you okay?" And vice versa. It's like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you know what?" So,
Right.
um, so yeah, I definitely appreciate you, and
Same here.
I'm kind of glad I got to break your panel, Cherry.
I know, right?
So when you decide to go live, you have people that genuinely care about you and like you.
That's
Mm.
really
And
good.
I don't care if it's clipped or not. She does have genuine people who care about her, and I don't care. And when you're ready to go live, all you do
Mhm.
is have to let me know, and I'm going to be in that chat
Mhm.
supporting you 100% in any way that you need my support. You're going to have it. You know it, and I'll be there.
I appreciate it.
So
You know I do.
I know you do. So, with that being said, was this
Hey,
too
Mama,
hard?
do it when Jackson's here. Let's see if she helps Cole do it.
Well, yeah, I can't do that. On my
Right.
grandson weekends, I'm not online. He
Oh,
is,
yeah.
so he can't help himself. He's an addict. He's
Ah,
a YouTuber. So,
I heard that.
he had to rewind it to hear what I was saying. He probably didn't hear it. So,
Not bullshit.
so, anyways, guys, that's our show for today. We were a little late and we're in a little bit over, but like I said, I like to keep it at the hour and a half mark. So we have hit that. We went 7 minutes over. I know it's dinner time for a lot of people. We appreciate you being here for another off the hip with me and with Maka today. You were an awesome co-host with me today, Maka. I appreciate that. And you are welcome anytime you want to join. It's every Wednesday that I do it from 4:30 to 6. Uh, Hit me up. You're more than welcome to be up here with me full time, anytime, once in a while, whatever you want.
I appreciate it.
So, and we've got late night tonight on HBR's panel.
I'm out.
If he can't do it, um,
Rumble 8:30.
it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We have Rumble at 8:30 on Tim's. I was forgetting that
Mhm.
political speak today. It's on my community page in Tim's. Click the link, take you over there. He says it's supposed to be a bombshell. He won't even tell me what it's about. So if it's a dud, make sure you put the thumbs down and tell him it was a dud because he's hyped it up to be a bomb. So if it's not and it bombs, let him know, guys. Don't be afraid. Just tell him about it. He don't
Hey,
know
look,
where
it's free to watch, but if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
he don't know where you live. He can't get you. So
Right.
trust me. Put that thumbs down if he don't deliver tonight. And
Right.
then, like I said, it's HBR's tonight afterwards around 11 p.m. If not, we will put it out. I will have Tim let you know whose it will be on so he can put it out on Rumble, but I'll put it on a community post because I'm trying to think who would be next. Mike would be up, but if he can't, it would actually fall on me. So it will go down the chain until we can get it. Maya, oh, there must be a dog. So with that note, you guys all have a blessed night. We'll see you on Rumble at the political speech or whoever else is live in the community. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And me and Mako will catch you on the next chat.
Later, everybody. And thank you, Laurie.
Oh, thank you.